listening to Her Profit Era, the podcast for founders who want a business that actually works. A business that's profitable, predictable, and pays them well. I am Cindy Kumar, a CPA, a fractional CFO from Abbotsford, BC, Canada. I'm the person founders call when they're tired of high revenue months with no money left over. I started this podcast because too many founders were chasing sales while their margins, cash flow, and bank accounts told a completely different story. I believe profit and money in the bank is the standard, not a bonus, and that every founder deserves clarity around their numbers. Each week, you'll get real financial strategy you can actually use and honest conversations with founders and industry experts about what it really takes to build a business that lasts. I am so excited for today's episode. So today's guest is someone who has truly built a name for herself in the beauty industry, not just as an artist, but as a brand. I'm sitting down with Alisha Hopps, a Vancouver-based destination makeup and hair artist who has worked with over 300 brides across Canada and internationally. She's known for her soft, elevated, you but better style, the kind of artistry that enhances your natural features while still feeling effortless and timeless. And what makes this conversation even more special is that Alisha has actually been a client of mine for the past 3 years. So I've had a behind the scenes look at her growth, not just as an artist, but as a business owner. I've seen how she's built a global presence, booked destination weddings, grown an online community, and stepped into education and mentorship for other artists. So in this episode, we talk about what it really takes to build a beauty brand that really stands out, showing up online, trusting your vision, and creating a business that gives you both freedom and impact. So let's get into it. Hi, Alisha. Thanks so much for joining me on Her Profit Era today.
Of course, that's my pleasure. So excited to be here.
Me too. I feel like I've been following your Instagram. We've been working together for years, but I'd love to hear how you even got into makeup.
Yeah, so I moved to Canada when I was 18. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
an international student here. I went to SFU and I have a degree in communications. And somewhere along the way, I decided to try makeup and see if I just like makeup and like doing it on myself or if
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it on other people, because that's very different. Um, Situations. So I first did a few makeup lessons and then I did hair, and I think I also did eyebrows. So I started
Oh,
initially
wow.
with eyebrows, like
Yeah.
threading and tinting and stuff like that. And I was accepting clients in my like little apartment on Burnaby, like near my campus.
Yeah.
To this day, when I look back, I'm like, I can't believe people went into my home. There was like one IKEA lamp and paper towel and like tools on it, and people paid me money to do their
Wow.
eyebrows. And that was before Instagram. That was before like anything, right? Still
Right.
surprised to this day people came. I don't know how that worked out. But anyways, afterwards I started doing makeup and started doing hair. I always knew I wanted to be in bridal specifically, so I didn't even try film or like anything like fashion or editorial related. Of course, I did a couple of shoots, but I knew
Yeah.
this wasn't where I wanted to be. Um, yeah, and it all started with me kind of being very much into subscription boxes that were really popular back in the day, where you kind of don't know what you're gonna get, like
Right.
Ipsy boxes and charm boxes and stuff like that. And also 2000 like 15, 16 is when beauty YouTube was booming. It was everywhere. Again, there wasn't really like social media influencers or
Yeah.
TikToks like right now. So I feel like we were getting most of our content on YouTube, and that's what I was watching day in, day out. And that's what I was spending all my money, all my pocket money on. And I was still like in the university or like college back then, and my parents were giving me pocket money. I wasn't working. So I was spending all of it on makeup. I was influenced through YouTube. And at some point, my parents were like, okay, we gotta do something about it. Either
Yeah.
control, your urges or like see if there's something there. And yeah, it kind of went from there.
Wow, that's so cool. And did you get into like bridal makeup like right away? When did you hire like your first kind of client?
Oh my God, I still remember my first client. I think she hated her makeup. Yeah, I initially I was just doing stuff for free just so I can get some pictures on Instagram, and back then they were like heavily edited and very
Right.
like Pinteresty with filters on. So I was just trying to post as much as I could. Like I would do one hairstyle, let's say, and I would use 5 different hair accessories to try to make it look different on my feed just so I can, get that not quality necessarily, but quantity out. And I think maybe like 3 months after I started posting, I got so I started around September, which is already the end of the bridal season. So like around New Year's, Christmas, I got a booking for my first bride. Her name was Apple. I
Oh,
remember because
wow.
it's such a unique name. I've never met anyone with
That
that
is.
name ever. Yeah, and she booked for herself and her mom. They were getting ready super early, like 5 in the morning in my apartment,
Oh, wow.
while like it was so messy back then. Now when I look back, I'm like, what was I doing? Like, how did it all work out? Like,
Yeah.
my ex-boyfriend and my dog was sleeping in the room. It was like
Oh,
so
wow.
early. Her mom fell asleep in my chair. It was like
Yeah.
just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. It's like a fever dream to look back at it,
Yeah.
but somehow it all worked out.
And did you start posting like on social media at the same time, or did you develop that
Yes,
later on?
yeah, I was posting on Instagram and I was posting like on Facebook groups, like wedding related groups. And eventually it got to like word of mouth.
Yeah.
So to this day, I do get a lot of clients through word of mouth. But back then, yes, mostly Instagram. And it was nothing like my Instagram right now. I wasn't posting my face or like any educational content or anything like that. It was purely just like a picture of hair and like some emojis and like pretty updo, save for the inspo. Like this was it. There was nothing else, but no one was like building personal brands back then.
That's so cool. And what has it been like showing up on social media? Like you do such a great job at like
Thank
building your
you.
community, showing like your personal life, all like behind the scenes. Is that something you always felt comfortable doing, or it kind of just evolved over time?
Well, I always loved social media, but I only started really showing like my face and being more like outgoing online, I think 2024, I want to say like
Oh,
two
so fairly
years.
recent.
Yeah, yeah, fairly recent, like 2.5 years. And at first it was really, it was like trial and error. You kind of
Yeah.
don't know what you're doing, so you throw it all on the wall
Yeah.
and you see what sticks, you see what people respond to. There's like types of content I love to do and I love to post, but it just doesn't resonate. It doesn't get any engagement. So you kind of like try and see, and a lot of people struggle with deciding what to post because like how much of your life do you want to
Right.
show? So eventually I kind of figured out what is called content pillars. So I try to stick to them. So for me, it's obviously like being a makeup artist, being an educator. Like last year, I was posting a lot about my wedding planning. Now I'm married. So now I'm posting like just bits of life of a,
Yeah.
freshly married couple and stuff like that. So I never really go like too personal. And I think if you're thinking of how can I start posting more about myself, just start. Like, just
Yeah.
start showing your little routines, your little workouts, how your day looks like. And eventually you'll get more confident and eventually you'll know what kind of stuff people love to see. And a lot of people think, oh, like my life is so boring. Like, oh, I go
Yeah.
for a workout, I get a coffee, whatever, have a client call. But people like seeing how your life looks like. People are nosy. Um, they want to know like I read this book recently and they called it curiosity gaps. So
Yeah.
for every like profession or every person, there's curiosity gaps, and essentially you're trying to fill them in by showing your life or like sharing your expertise or yeah.
That's so cool and so helpful too, because I'm finding that too. Like, I was very like kind of reserved on what I wanted to show personally, but I feel like over time, like I'm starting to share more, and I've
Yeah.
noticed like more people reaching out. They want to connect with me like as a person.
Especially now, right, like with AI and everything being
Yeah,
so like robotic and automated, and you can see it, you can really see it. It's
yeah,
all the same. So people
yeah.
are craving real people. They want something real to resonate with, connect them with, like have a conversation about. So definitely, if whoever is listening is still
Yeah.
not posting bits of their life, do it, girl. Do it, girl.
What advice would you give like another makeup artist or even like someone creative about like showing up online? Is there like some easy actionable steps they can take right away?
Easy, actionable, yes. A lot of people, when you tell them to start showing up online, they immediately think about speaking to the camera. And that's
Right.
actually the hardest thing to do, the hardest one.
Yeah.
So I feel like the easiest way to begin is to maybe do voiceover or maybe like just film yourself working, film yourself doing like mundane things and share your thoughts as like a text over the video, like, right? So you doing something is b-roll and then you put your thoughts over it. um don't do it for too long, but see what others are doing. I think it's only helpful in the beginning when you have no idea
Yeah.
what's going on and what others are putting out there. It's okay to look at what others are doing, but at some point you should actually try not to look at all and just try
Yeah.
to listen to your own thoughts and have your own like come up with your own trends
So
or
true.
something unique, a unique angle on your idea or on your job. Yeah, or honestly, it doesn't have to be anything overwhelming. Just start showing your everyday life. Like, okay, here's the drink I like to drink, or here's the bride and why am I excited to, for her wedding day to be here. Um, just like real thoughts. Like I'm on a podcast right now, so I'm excited. Like I know I can go and just express that excitement and like kind of tease people a little bit about this episode coming out. And
Right.
it's not that deep,
Yeah.
nothing is that deep. Don't
Yeah.
overthink it.
I love that you share that because like we overthink and think like the things we do on a daily basis are boring, but I feel like to other people, they don't know what you do behind the scenes.
Absolutely. And no one thinks about you in the amount that you think about yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody truly cares. And it's like the most freeing thought once you come up to terms with it that no one really cares.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, I'm like, I post something, I'm like, maybe I should. I'm like, that I don't care. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Nobody cares.
Yeah, for sure. And what has it been like getting like international bookings now? Is that something you always wanted to get into or it kind of just happened?
I mean, I didn't know it was possible when I
Yeah.
was just starting out, but social media definitely helps a lot. And I also think like that's why you shouldn't fall a victim to that thought of like, oh, algorithm is this, algorithm is that. Like,
Right.
no, Instagram and TikTok, they give so much opportunity. And if your content sucks, like work on it. It's not Instagram. They want to push your content. And if it wasn't for that, for like the social media, I don't think I would be able to work internationally. I always wanted to, but then it was only 2023 when I started posting content, sorry, that would speak to that kind of clientele. And like I was offering traveling, no, I was offering, yes, traveling for free.
Yeah.
They would still pay for the service. To like get that content, just to get started, just to have
Right.
something to show for. In hindsight, I recommend you charge for travel and you do the service for free, because depending on where you book the bride, travel will
Gets
most
expensive.
likely be more expensive than your service.
Yeah.
And it's like the real bills you have to pay, right? You can't just
So true.
like write it off or whatever. So in hindsight, I do recommend doing it the other way. Um, but yeah, like the more you post, the more you attract more brides for next year that are getting married abroad. And now that I got married abroad myself, I definitely have like a better understanding of what that looks like and how much value you bring. Like when
Right.
somebody flies you out, it is so much more comfortable for the bride. You speak the same language. You kind of have a similar style for makeup, which, if you're getting married, let's say in Brazil, it's going to be a different style. People
So
are going to
true.
have like different approach to makeup, different access to different products even. So there's lots of benefits to it, and it's kind of like your job, if you want to do destination weddings, to communicate that value to the clients, because most of them don't know.
That's so true. And do you do like consult calls or like I know you mentioned you don't do trials anymore. So how do you get like an international bride to feel comfortable?
Yeah, so if I have a destination inquiry and they want to come to Vancouver and do a trial, I will make it happen, just
Yeah,
because there's more at stake for
right.
destination weddings. I did have a few who would fly in or like drive from Seattle up here to get their trials done, but most of the girls, they prefer to just use their welcome dinner or like a pre-party at
Oh, that's
the
a
at
good idea.
the location as their trial. Um, and I think that goes to show that because I show my face online, I am consistent, I don't disappear. They have that trust in me.
Yeah.
And also because I have a signature style, so they know what kind of work to expect from me. That's like another advice I would give to anyone who's starting out. In the beginning, you're obviously trying different things like color or not color, glowy, matte, like full glam, natural, and you kind of see what you like. So I highly recommend you spend time on figuring out what it is you like to do and showing that work. So even though I might do like e-commerce or, stuff that's not necessarily like my signature work, I might do it, but I might not post it just because I don't necessarily want to attract that client. So post what you want to attract is my message.
Did you originally always post for like bridal clients or were you kind of posting like a bit of like everything at the beginning?
In the beginning, a bit of everything, just because you're figuring it out and it takes time to kind of figure out your signature style and what it looks like and how to phrase it, how to communicate it, how to explain it. But eventually, yes, I started to like pay attention to what I post. Um, and most of my feed has always been kind of like bright and bridally.
Yeah.
But there was like an odd, colorful makeup here and there. And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna post that because that's not where I want to go. And that's not what brings me the most money.
That totally makes sense. And I feel like you've always had like a good handle on like finances and a lot of creative like beauty people, they're so good at what they do, but they struggle on the financial side. Could you just share some tips that have worked for you?
That is such a compliment coming from you. If you guys don't know who's listening, Cindy has been my accountant and supervisor for like the last, I want to say 3 years.
3 years,
Yeah, three
yeah.
years. Yes. So every time I send my annual, numbers, I'm like, oh my God, is she gonna think this is so messy? Like, am I sending like too much information?
Yeah.
Like what's going on? Anyway, but thank you. It's such a compliment. I try to be organized. So what I do is I have spreadsheets that actually my husband helped me build because he
Oh,
was in
wow. I didn't
finance.
know that.
Yeah, he was in finance and like accounting when we met. Now he
Yeah.
he does a different thing, but when we met, he did numbers. And my initial spreadsheets, oh my God, thank God you've never seen them because you would be like, I'm never working with you, girl. Get your shit together. Yeah, so he looked at it and he's like, "Come on, let me help you." So he made it look better. He made it look like more organized. There's some formulas in there that I don't even know about that
Yeah.
do something that I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so I tracked my monthly income per service, so like how many trials I did, how much money that brought in, or like what did I earn in affiliate links, blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
then I also count all my monthly expenses, the recurring ones or just like irregular ones. And basically by the end of the month, I sit down and I do it. I think that's the only way I can keep track. And it's kind of addicting in a way. Like in the beginning, I found it so freaking annoying to do this. Like no one who is in creative field wants to do numbers or think about taxes.
It's the
Nobody
last thing you want
wants
to
to do,
do.
yeah, nobody wants to deal with that. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you start tracking it and you're like, okay, so I spent 4% on, let's say, supplies. Can I lower it down? Like, should I be more cautious? Like, you kind of really get into it and it starts like being addictive and you're like learning ways how to like invest under your business or what's the best way to do XYZ. So of course it really helps to have someone like you who is available for like, you know, advice, or even on your own page you share a lot of advice, so for who, if somebody was looking for that, they could find it on your page. And of course you also gave me lots of advice over the years, and because of you I incorporated, and I have noticed how much more seriously people take you when
Yeah.
they find out you're incorporated. It was noticeable. Even when I go to my bank to do
Yeah.
something, um there was like a girl helping me out the other day and she's like, oh, incorporated, good girl, doing well. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Yeah, so it really helps to have someone who doesn't do just like the bare minimum, which most accountants do. Like, no hate, that's also fine.
Yeah.
There's a clientele for that. But for someone who is actively looking for ways to help you save money or, you know, pay up smart in a smarter way, like not to panic if something like goes wrong or
Right. Yeah.
CRA wants something from you, that support, it means a lot.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm glad I'm able to support you on that end.
Yeah.
And what's like one money lesson you wish you would have like learned sooner? Maybe it was like the earlier days.
I definitely should have incorporated sooner. I think I would have saved more money. But besides that, I think the trap that a lot of younger, doesn't even have to be a makeup artist, just service provider fall into is buying a lot of supplies,
Yeah.
like investing a lot in makeup or, you know, 5 different cameras if you're a photographer or whatever it is, before you actually have a decent amount of money flowing in.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of times people end up in a situation where they have no pillar, no pillow, sorry, like financial pillar to fall on. So God forbid something happens, you're like, you know how they say you're like one accident away from a financial disaster.
Yeah.
So instead of buying yet another thing that you think is gonna, you know, make you a better photographer, better makeup artist, whatever it is,
Yeah.
think about like treat your business as a business. Just because it's makeup or, you know, wedding stuff, wedding planning, la la la, it's also cute and feminine. Treat it as a business. Put money aside. Think how you should structure your business. Talk to someone who knows what they're doing, like you, right? Like, for example, I post a lot online now. So, like, this year, I'm gonna like start earning way more online. I need someone who understands that.
Yeah.
You know, a regular HR blog guy will have
Will
no
not know that.
idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's important you treat, you know, the financial and kind of like legal side of your business with as much effort and care as you do like your kit or your supplies or your workspace, your studio, whatever it is, right? Like one of the other mistakes that I did is not, I didn't get insurance right away. And then my kit was stolen out of the
Oh no.
car. Yeah, that was like thousands of dollars like in real money, but besides
Yeah.
that also like emotional
So
damage.
true. Yeah.
So like why didn't I do it? You know, of course
Yeah.
now I always have insurance for everything, but you need to treat the like unglamorous and boring side of the business with as much care.
That's such great advice because I feel like it's a lot of times it's like that Sephora sale happens or something happens and you're just like, I just want to go on like a shopping spree.
Yeah, and like, you know, I do that too. But you have to kind of, if you keep spending money, you'll have no money left. Like we
Yeah.
are in any business to make money, and as much as people don't want to like talk about it because it's one of those like forbidden topics.
Yeah.
We go into a business or try to expand our hobby into a company because we want to earn money with our craft. Nothing is wrong with that.
Right.
But you still have to be very careful, especially like for myself. Now that I travel for destination weddings, um, there is an easy way to fall into the like treating it as a vacation.
So
Like, oh,
true.
I'll
Yeah.
just go there. I'll like spend
Yeah.
extra day here. Or let's go to like this other city nearby. And then boom, you didn't earn any money,
Yeah.
even though you left the country for like 5 days to do that. So you have to be careful and have to like think about these things as well if you want your business to go far.
That's so true. And I feel like a lot of women fall into the trap of like going to conferences or retreats and traveling,
Absolutely.
and then they end up spending so much money and not realizing it.
Yeah, yeah. And like if you do spend money, let's say on networking, like I went to a networking dinner that was like $400 the other month. I'm like, okay, did I make connections? Did that lead to anything? Like, yes, it was all fun and I love
Yeah.
meeting women, but did it help me in my business? And then if the answer is no,
Yeah.
as much as you like going to those, then it means this is not like the right way to invest for you, maybe.
That's so true. Yeah. And I feel like just being more intentional before you even go to the room, like, why am I going?
Exactly. Yeah, especially with networking, you're like, who do I want to meet? Who should I talk to? What are my questions maybe that I need help with? Blah, blah, blah. So nothing should be, oh, I'll just go. Oh, I'll
Yeah.
just see. Maybe I'll return it later. You won't.
Yeah. Now I wanted to talk a little bit about pricing because a lot of like makeup artists, even creative people, I feel like women in general struggle with like pricing their services. You end up discounting or not even charging much. So what has really helped you on that end?
What has helped me is that I track brides who I have to decline. I spoke about this a couple of times on my page. So I have another spreadsheet where I just input the dates that I had to decline because the date was already booked. So somebody already reserved it.
Yeah.
I'm a one-person team. I didn't go into growing my team just because I wanted to do something else. And that really shows me the demand. So when I raise my prices, it's not an emotional decision of what I feel like or what I think might be good. No, it's based on the numbers. So that's why when I do it, I don't really have any like emotional breakdown
Yeah.
around it because I look at the numbers and I'm like, well, I didn't come up with it,
Yeah.
you know? It's what it is. And when people come back and say, well, you're like not in my budget, that's okay. Not you're not meant to be in everybody's budgets.
Right.
Especially now that I've planned my own wedding, I have seen it all. I
Yeah.
have seen photographers charge 1,000, 5,000, 20,000, and I never like catch myself thinking, wow, that's greedy. How could they? I
Yeah.
just think, okay, well, then they must have the demand to meet that type of client and budget, and that's okay.
Right.
So I kind of like I recommend you approach it from that like logical point of view.
Yeah.
Then you won't feel guilty. You won't feel like, oh, maybe I should have not done it. And also, if you do raise your prices and you do see like this drop, like you just don't get inquiries at all for like 2 months now, just go back.
Yeah.
Like nobody's watching you do anything. Nobody will even know. Like treat
Yeah.
it as a market research. That's
That's
it.
such great advice.
Yeah, I know it's very hard, especially for women, because we're like so programmed to be people pleasers,
Yeah.
and especially when businesses are very feminine, like wedding or beauty or I don't know, whatever it is, like hairdressers. Somehow it's like not seen as a career, right?
Right.
But a lot of these hairdressers and makeup artists are making more than people in managerial positions in
So true.
corporations. Let
Yeah.
me tell you. Let me tell you. So, base your decisions on the numbers, and if something doesn't work, just like drop it a little, see how people respond to that. Nobody is keeping track of what you're doing.
That's so true. Yeah. Some advice I usually give is like test your price for 5 clients. If you're getting a lot of yeses, then it's time to like increase it for the next five and just test it
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. Like I increased my rates last time in December, so like before Christmas is when I did it. And for like the next month, I wasn't really getting as many, like I was getting inquiries, but I wasn't getting them in as much volume as I'm used to. And I'm like, like did I raise it too high? Like what's going
Yeah.
on? Like my friend was like, no, it's just like we just had New Year's and Christmas. Like give
Yeah.
people a break to like like start thinking about their weddings and all that stuff and have cash to spend. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then after the first client says yes to your new rates, you're like, oh my God, I should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then the second one and the third one, and I'm like, oh, what was I worried about? It's really up until the first client says yes,
Yeah.
and then you're like, okay, I actually feel confident about this, and like I have this external validation, right? That this is okay, and there's client for it, there's budget for it.
That's so true. I wanted to ask you about cash flow too, because I find with like wedding vendors or like wedding industry, things are so seasonal with the summer being super busy. So how do you manage cash flow during like your slower kind of months or periods?
Uh, well, I'm incorporated now, right? As I said,
Right.
so I try not to pull money out of there unless I need them. Because obviously I'm gonna be paying tax on what, like personal tax on what I took out of the corporation.
Right.
So I kind of just pay myself monthly, whatever I need. I don't know if it's technically like payroll. It's not payroll, right? I'm
No,
just
we're
like,
doing
yeah,
dividends.
dividends. Yeah. See, I don't even know what we're doing.
I got you.
Yeah, so I'm just paying myself from that amount. So obviously all business expenses, they go through the corporate credit card and the balance get paid from the corporate account. And then I just send myself whatever money I need that month. So because I'm very cautious about what I spend my money on, um, I was able to build some kind of like bank, right, that I can take
Right.
out from. And like, of course, I know that during summer, like I'm earning like three times more than during December.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I have to go and like spend it all because I have like this is not my first year. I know what it's gonna look like.
Yeah.
And of course it doesn't happen like overnight. It takes like a year or two to build a decent amount of like money in your account so you don't really feel the impact of the slow season. And hopefully with the years like in the career you start also earning money from other sources, so it's important to have different ways to get income. um, and so you have money flowing every month either way, but
Yeah.
of course during the wedding season you have like three times more the income.
So true. You openly share like you don't want to build a team and you love what you do. Could you share a little bit more about that? Like I know a lot of times people think growing and scaling, they have to hire more artists to get more money. Like what made you decide that wasn't the route you
Yeah,
wanted to go?
you absolutely do make more money if you have a team. But there's other ways of making it. I feel like if you have a team, you end up being a manager. You end
Right.
up dealing with a lot of personalities and, people maybe not being very punctual. Like you just have to manage customer service beyond yourself.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to do it, to be honest. And like, I already post so much about like my work to think about doing another like page where I would have to like post for the team. Like, oh my God, who has time for that?
Yeah.
So because of that, I know this is like a natural way most makeup artists go, is they start building a team. Um, I decided that I want to do social media instead and like try to get partnerships with brands, like earn money from affiliate links, earn money from education online and like coaching calls and stuff like that. And it's been going good. Like obviously it doesn't happen overnight. Instagram and
Yeah.
TikTok is much harder these days than it was like 5 years ago. But it's going, and this is like one of my goals this year is to have like at least 10% of my income coming from like affiliates or partnerships or campaigns and stuff like that.
That's such a great goal.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're on the way.
That's awesome. And you've gotten into coaching as well. So do you coach like all makeup artists or is it specifically for bridal?
No, I have coaching calls with makeup artists who do all sorts of makeup, but most of them are bridal. And I had a nail tech on a
Oh,
coaching call.
wow.
She was also like asking advice on how to build like personal brand and how to start showing up online. So it hasn't all been makeup artists. It's been like other people as well.
So I guess
Yeah.
like anyone in like the creative kind of beauty space.
Pretty much, yes, but mostly it's makeup artists.
And what made you get into like coaching?
Um, I just feel like I have a lot to share. I don't know if that sounds very humble of me.
You definitely do.
But I've been in the industry for like 7 years, right? This is my seventh year. And I've done a lot of things that I was only dreaming about doing back in the day, like destination weddings or like online materials to sell,
Yeah,
filming a master class. Like I have booked out schedules every year. So I feel like I have a lot of advice to share. And there's only so much I can do through content. Of
so
course, I
true.
try to share as much as possible, but there's only so much. And it's more so general advice, right? It's not
Right.
particular to your situation or where you are in your career, because everybody is so different. So some makeup artists, they might do amazing work, but they just like suck at social media and
Yeah.
taking pictures and just like showing yourself. So you need to help build that confidence for them. And for some people, they might be very like extroverted and it's easy for them to speak on camera, but their work still needs,
Yeah.
like building,
It's all
some
visual.
skills. And yeah, so everyone is so different. Some people want to know particularly how to get into destination weddings and like what to post if you haven't done one yet. Like how do I even approach this? So it's all very different.
That totally makes sense. What does like the next like 3 to 5 years look like for you?
I'm not the kind of person who like builds long-term goals, to be honest with you. Like I just get married, I have
Yeah.
this like huge weight off my shoulders of wedding planning. I was burned out by the end of 2025. It was a crazy year.
Yeah.
Just like when it rains, it pours. I feel like everything was happening at the same time. So this year, as I said, I'm focusing on like trying to build income from social media and like influencing. I don't like that word, but like
Yeah.
from content creation. Um, I do have like I'm hoping to continue doing destination weddings. I have a few coming up, and I'm thinking about doing an like in-person masterclass this summer,
Oh,
which would
that
be a
sounds like
first
fun.
for me. Yeah, for other makeup artists, I'm thinking about it. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it. I'm gonna see if that's gonna happen. But there's definitely like thoughts about it. Yeah, but I'm not really a girl to have like 5-year long plans of
Yeah.
where I want to be. So ask me again in 2 years.
It'll probably completely change.
Yeah, probably.
How do you manage like scheduling out your calendar so far in advance?
It's fine. I'm actually really used to it. Like, I'm joking with the girls who like do my nails, do my hair. I'm like, can I
Yeah.
just book for the whole year? Like, I know what my
Yeah.
year is gonna look like more or less. And yeah, like I know my weekends are not gonna be available, and my husband now kind of works also in freelance. He's also started last year his own company.
Oh,
So
wow.
we're both like summer is a busy season for the both of us. So I just know that's when we hustle and like
Yeah.
work. And that's when we're in the business, not working on the business. And then during slow season, we work on the business. So it hasn't really been a challenge for me, to be honest. I just need to know like birthdays and like my friends getting married and stuff like that. Just far in advance. Just tell me
Yeah.
as far as possible. My girlfriend is getting married in Maine, and she told me before she like even sent out any
Aw.
invitation. She's like, "Are you available like on this weekend?" I'm like, "Yes." Should I book it out? She's like,
Aw.
"Yes." Yeah.
What is like the best way for our audience to connect with you, learn more about your services, or even your like your coaching?
Yeah, I'm mostly on Instagram, so it's Alisha_Hopps. I'm also on TikTok and YouTube, but that's like barely, it's like non-existent at this point. Mostly I'm on Instagram. And if you click on my links on Instagram, it will take you to the website. It will take you to shop my favorites for makeup. It will take you to coaching calls, wherever you want to go, it's all there.
Thank you so much, Alicia. I'll share all your details in the show notes.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun.
If you're a founder who wants real strategy, not noise, and you want someone in your corner helping you build a business that feels aligned, is profitable, and actually supports your life, you can apply for CFO on Call. This is my one-on-one financial partnership for established founders, typically making between $500K to $2 million, who want clarity, who want structure and confidence with their numbers. The link is in the show notes so you can schedule a profit strategy call, or you can DM me CFO on Instagram at @CindyKamar and I'll send over all the details.